You know, it's a very exciting time for our group, and I think it makes perfect sense with the move that we're just about to make. It's bold, it's new, and we are one of the first to make the jump forward, and I couldn't be more thrilled.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Just makes sense.
It's outstanding. I can't wait to see what happens over the next few months and years as we continue to grow and prosper. There's just that feeling that there's something big, something good is happening, and something is going to change the face of this truly great group.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
You know, it really does just make sense.
Well, hi guys. Opening of an office is always pretty special for us, and today it's a bit of a different one. Come on in, I want to show you some people if you can. Well, first of all, about 3 years ago we started researching whether we should consider helping someone to establish a brand offshore. And where are we right now? Well, we're in Phoenix, in Arizona, in the USA. And today we're opening the brand called Professionals Realty Group USA. I want you to come on in and meet the team who are going to run this thing for us. And yes, we're still associated with it, but day to day these guys will run the show. Come on in, we'll go and meet them. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hand you over to Glyn Morgan, who's the president of the USA. And I know, Glenn, we've had a great association for the last 3 years, and for us to be working together is really cool. Do you mind just quickly introducing the team here?
Love to. This is Mark Vost, Ian McDonald, your friend from Australia, Jeff, Sue Melton, Scott Hurlock, Megan Hartman, Carrie Shutt, and Kelly Zagers, and I'm Glenn Morgan.
Well, this is the team. They're working on this project full time. I know Mac is sort of consulting to us and Jeff is helping us out with the project. We're really excited and looking forward to showing the results. Anyway, at the end of the day,
Just makes sense.
Just makes sense.
so is there a proposition for us in the US? Well, over the last few years we've certainly been researching that and considering whether the membership model could work over there, whether being modern and professional in terms of its brand, being good old-fashioned thinking with New World real estate, could that help in the US? Well, the one thing we do know is our value proposition of belonging, best value, and brand certainly works. When it comes to values, culture, and social responsibility, we do it right in Australia, and we think we can do it pretty good up there as well. When it comes to offering great services at a good price, and therefore good value for money, I think we hit the mark. And finally, what a cool brand we've got, Professionals. So we truly think we have an opportunity up there, and the people we've been talking to up there certainly think so as well. Anyway, in a minute, I'm going to talk about what's in it for professionals. Cheers. So what's in it for professionals? Well, yes, we'll be putting some investment into this thing through great support from the state companies of New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland, plus a little bit of small working capital from PSC. But the one thing we will be doing most of is providing assistance to the US team to make sure that this is successful. So what's really in it for us? Well, first of all, we will have a shareholding in this company in the US, which means once it becomes profitable, we'll be getting returns for us to use in whatever manner that's required. We will also be getting a franchise fee, which we'll be sharing with the overall global board, but also the intangibles around research and development, and also ensuring that we have great expansion up into the US or ultimately North America, which means we'll get referral opportunities between both areas. So we think there's a great opportunity for professionals. This is a good thing for us, and I know as we go through some of the videos that you're going to see shortly, you too will believe it's the right thing to do. So you've now heard from why I think it's a good thing to go into the US. Let's talk to some of the people up in the US as to why they think it's a great opportunity and why they think we'll be successful. Well, hi guys, I've got a very special person here. This is the President of the United States as such, Glyn Morgan. Well, firstly, great to have you in the family and welcome on board, my friend.
Great to meet you, Glenn. Glad to see you.
Now, Glyn and I have known each other for about 3.5 years, and I've certainly appreciated the candour and chat with Glyn, and now we're working together, which is even better. Why do you think professionals might be successful, Glyn?
You know, in the United States, there are a lot of brands out there that really prey off the agent, they prey off the broker, and they really don't provide the kind of value that an agent needs today in this complex and very, very competitive market. Professionals Australia was born by the brokers and for the brokers, and that just in and of itself, the value proposition that emanates from from a company whose mission comes right from the heart of the people it's serving. You just can't get any better than that. And I'm so excited that it's going to be here in the United States, because boy oh boy is this market ready for something like that.
Absolutely. And there are so many brands out there that have people who are thinking, what next? Who can help me? Who can give me value? And I guess for all of the brands in the US, we have an opportunity to have a chat to anyone we want to.
Absolutely, it just makes sense.
It does just make sense. Thanks very much, Glyn. Thank you. Well, hey guys, I've got a very good friend of Professionals here, Jeff Turner. Well, first of all, Jeff, it's so neat to be able to talk to you in beautiful Phoenix. I'm interested in your perception about Professionals USA and why it could be good for us to be over here.
Well, I have to first start with the story. And Glyn first proposed the concept of bringing the Professionals brand to the United States with a conversation about values and about what it would mean to bring an organization to the United States that focused on culture and values the way that Professionals in Australia does. And for me, that aspect of the conversation was the thing that got me most excited. The idea of starting from scratch with the concept of a member-based franchise seated in culture and values. That to me made the most sense, because I don't see brands in the United States focusing on values and culture as a core to how they develop their brand.
Well, hi guys, I've got Scott with me, and Scott's one of the most important people in the world because he is what we call a business developer in terms of bringing on franchises. Well, Scott, tell us why you think Professionals could be successful up here.
Well, there are a number of reasons. I believe that the U.S. market is absolutely in need of a very high value-based, cost-effective franchisor in the United States. All the traditional companies that are here do essentially the exact same thing. So this is going to be a tremendous opportunity for us to bring something different, high energy, and I think it'll be very, very well received.
Well, hi guys, Glyn here again. I've got Mark Vost with me, and Mark's a very important person over in the US for us. Mark's going to be in charge, if you want to call it, of the membership. That is, you know, bringing them on and looking after them and leading your team around the US. Well, first of all, Mark, welcome on board, my friend.
Thank you.
It's great to be a part of the Professionals
Great to be here.
I'd love you to tell the people back at home why you think Professionals may or can be successful over here.
I think what it's all about is belonging to the best value brand. I know that's kind of your byline from over there, but like so many of the tools and the systems that you guys have in place, they'll over in Australia and New Zealand and all over there, it will work here, and it's really exciting. You know, the belonging, the sharing, the best practices, the great value. We can really deliver something here in the market, and the brand, it's fresh, it's exciting. There's nothing like it here, so we're really excited about that opportunity.
Well, mate, one of the most amazing things for me is you're a tech guy, but you're a culture guy, and for me, I've learned so much over the last few days, and generally. I'm fascinated. You're wearing a tie, you're wearing a white shirt, and for a lot of people, that will be a surprise, I guess.
Well, I have a 16-year-old son who has never seen me in a tie. I'm trying to remember the last time I put on a tie. I've been fiercely against wearing ties. I've been in large contract signings in t-shirts and jeans. I've pitched to General Motors in their conference room in Detroit not wearing a tie. But when Glyn asked for everyone today to come in and do these videos and to put on the ones that is part of the tradition of Professionals, it struck me that my personal value around the wearing of a tie needed to be subservient to the culture and the values of Professionals. And so it's a statement I'm making that the values and the culture are important, and that in order for this to be successful here in the United States, people have to take it seriously and have to mean it. So if you're going to say I'm committed to these values and I'm committed to these cultures, then your personal values need to be in check with it. So I'm wearing a tie for literally the first time in maybe 20 years, because I really do believe so strongly in that concept.
Mate, I can but appreciate and thank you for doing that, because I know such a big deal it is for you. Professionals is about to really go hard over in the US, and to have people like Jeff Turner backing us and supporting us and being part of this in some way is very, very cool for me. Jeff, I respect you immensely. Thanks very much.
Thank you. You know, this just makes sense.
It does just make sense. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, hi, Glyn here again, and of course one of our great friends and legends of the group, Ian McDonald. Well, isn't it awesome to be in Phoenix, Mac, right?
Absolutely unbelievable. In such a short period of time that we've come so far, but the future is just absolutely unbelievable. It's just right, time-wise, absolutely everything. The timing is just brilliant.
Well, of course, I trust Macca immensely, especially around the governance and the compliance issues, and that's one of the reasons he's here with us right now, ticking off all the boxes to make sure it's the right fit, and in fact, ensuring that we have the right personnel working on this project over there. Macca, one of the things that we've been very fortunate is that the state companies have come behind us and supported us in this venture, which we haven't always had, but certainly New South Wales, Queensland, in fact, have got right behind us on the project.
Absolutely correct, Glenn, and I think that that's just another acknowledgement that the time was right for this sort of thing to happen, and it's from a historical point of view of being in the prize, it's just absolutely brilliant. I'd just like to place on record that we actually had meetings of both the New South Wales Board, Victorian Board, Real Corp Systems Limited, and we had a preliminary meeting to allocate some funds. The resolutions at that board meeting were absolutely unanimous, and also with the draft documentation, loan documentation, that's been executed. Once again, all the directors had the ability and facility to go through those documents, ticked it off totally and 100% in support. And then with Queensland, I was fortunate enough as company secretary to get them together, and I actually chaired that meeting so that our chairman Brian Brady could in fact participate. And once again, that particular board meeting lasted 55 minutes with total unanimous resolution, because as they said, even Brian indicated and the board agreed, the time was just right to do that. Fantastic.
Well, Macca, great to have you here, my friend, helping us out as always. Any last thing you want to say to the troops back home?
Just that the excitement situation is brilliant, and it is. It just makes sense to do it.
So where to from now? Well, you've heard from Macca and the team about the investment we've made from the state companies and also PSC. It's now for us about getting on and supporting America, and certainly Glyn and his team to be successful up there. We have real opportunities to go out to talk to real live prospects right now, the ones that are eligible to come across to our brand, and we're going to do that. Let's get going hard. This is a great opportunity, and I know you'll support us on this.
It's fantastically fabulous, and it just makes sense. It's wonderfully wonderful, and it just makes sense. And it's incredibly incredible, and it just makes sense. And it's superbly superb, and it just makes sense. It's amazingly amazing, and it just makes sense. It's excitingly exciting, and it just makes sense. Magnificently magnificent, and it just makes sense.
Well, thanks, Brian, and yes, you're all right. It just makes sense.